You have a big episode coming up.
I do.
What can you tell us about it?
Well, you're going to find out a lot about Joel's backstory, his history. You're going to find out what's been going on with the camera that he's carrying around, the real purpose behind that, what's going on with him and Deb. It's going to get deeper and more revealed. So there's a lot coming up in this episode. It's a big one.
Can you talk a little bit about the tall man? Is there any more stuff with him in that?
Yes, you're also going to get to see some more of Tony Todd. People really love him because of his history and all the things he's worked on from Star Trek, Candyman, and all the horror films. So, you're going to see a lot more of him in this coming episode as well.
How much of a background do you have on Joel when you get the first script, and how much did you learn?
You know what? I didn't have much of anything. When I auditioned, I literally had a few paragraphs. And then once I got the role, they showed me the first episode. And from there, it was literally episode by episode. I was discovering him almost at the same rate that the fans are discovering him. Obviously we shoot a little bit ahead, so I got to see things before other people, but it was episode to episode. I found out as we were shooting, and it was really cool to do it that way, because it allowed me not to spoil it myself, not to try to anticipate or play something. When I was surprised, I was really surprised.
So you like not knowing what's going to happen?
I mean, it just depends on the role. I think with this role, I felt so comfortable in who Joel is, and I feel like there was kind of a symmetry between me and the writers as far as his backstory and where he came from, that I trusted that it was going to go in a safe direction, in a direction that I felt was like stimulating as an actor. It's been a great experience.
Can you talk a little bit about the relationship between Joel and Deb and what it's been like working with Elizabeth Mitchell?
First of all, Elizabeth Mitchell is just such a fantastic person, such a beautiful person inside and out. She's such an amazing actress. I feel like all of my best scenes in the show are the ones that I have with her. But she just makes you a better actor. She's so attentive and she listens so well. And then just even off the set, she'll do little surprises, like get little gifts for the cast or just little things all the time. So as nice as she seems to be, she's even nicer in real life. It's unbelievable. It's amazing. Yeah. And as far as Joel and Deb, you're gonna see some more stuff tonight, for sure.
I like that's a relationship. It's surprising if you don't know why all of a sudden this came out. I like the relationship between the two.
Well, you're gonna see some surprises.
There's a pretty big revelation in your episode that I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
a little bit about it. A little bit at the end of the screen.
Yeah. It came on Fast and Furious. Yeah. It was like, it went from 0 to 100. Like I said, in this episode coming up, I think a lot of things will make more sense.
Are you guys finished filming this season already, or are you guys episode?
No, we have we're in episode 9, and we have one more episode to go.
Okay. What can you tell us about episode 5 and from what you've shot so far?
I can tell you this: it gets ratcheted up almost consistently for the entire season. I was very impressed with the way they built each character and the way they always manage every week to come out with something that takes the whole story forward and also has a shock. I mean, at the end of my episode, they just premiered it here at Comic-Con, and you're going to see it on Tuesday. The entire audience screamed out loud. So I think it's going to be pretty good.
I hope you don't die, because you already did that on the 100, and I was like mad about that.
That's cool, man. I ran into the cast of the 100, and I had a little surprise for them because I had a feeling I might see them here. We have the same wardrobe people for Dead of Summer and the 100. We all showed up in Vancouver, and I went to her and I asked her if she'd give me my old Wells jacket, and I got my Wells jacket. It don't really fit me the way it used to because I got a little bit bigger, but I had my Wells jacket. I got off the elevator and they were all like, "Oh!" They couldn't believe it. So we did some pictures. It was fun.
Amber Coney said the next few episodes are going to start to get a little bit sad. Can you talk a little bit about what she's talking about?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say sad so much as they get a little darker. The show gets a little darker, and when it first started off, people really didn't know each other. We were just getting to camp. There was a lot of light thrills. There's still some humor in it, but it gets a lot less humorous and a lot darker.
Talk about the 80s aspect to it. Did you have to do research into late 80s to kind of know?
I mean, I have all older brothers and sisters that are quite a bit older than me, so they were living in the 80s. So I kind of knew some of the music from when they were, the stuff they play, and knew how they dress from the old pictures. And I feel like 80s is one of my favorite time periods. Like I really love Michael Jackson, and I love Michael Jordan, and like all that kind of old 80s classic stuff. So I didn't have to do too much research, but I definitely was happy that we got to do that period.
Anything you're looking forward to your character exploring, like other than the obvious Deb and Joel relationship, or what else are you like? Or what are you excited for the fans to see?
Yes. I think that's a good question. Again, I feel like his where he comes from. When you see where he comes from and what he's coming out of, I know it doesn't make sense now, but when you see the episode, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm glad they showed me that, because it makes everything that much more, makes the stakes that much higher.
Did your backstory, like anything about that, like surprised you? Like, oh, whoa, I didn't know that.
Everything about my backstory surprised me.
Yeah.
So if that tells you anything, it's a huge shock. You're not gonna. I don't think people are gonna really see coming what happens. Yeah.